That was the whole joke. That was the whole joke and opening bit. Cost $7 for this bit. I just wanted to get some mileage out of it. I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know how well it's going to be coming through on the mic. But yeah, that's what we're doing. We have the Iron Man Mark 1 armor. Check it out. How neat is that? That is pretty. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit. How neat is that? That is pretty neat. It needs to be painted. Right now it is just silver, and silver's cool. That's like the base layer of what it needs to be. But it needs to look, more than just silver. It can't just be a shiny silver. Like this gun, it could be a shiny silver because it's a shiny silver gun. But the Iron Man armor is all dirty and stuff. It's made from scrap parts. It's greasy. It's oily. It's dusty, sandy in the desert. And right now we're focusing on this kind of crotch piece area that was built. The rest of it, these next two pieces are kind of stair steps. These are just silver. They're like a dirty silver. It's dirty, but it's still just silver. But on this part, there is chipped away paint on it. And it is like this weird greenish, light lime green chipped away paint. And so we need to give it a chipped away paint look without most literally just chipping away paint. So that's what we're going to be doing. To start that off, we're going to be ever so amazingly covering the whole area in masking tape. Because we're just going to try to do this as smart as possible. Not that that's guaranteed with me, but it's what we're going to be doing. Why masking tape, you may be asking? That's easy. So we can draw and doodle the areas where the chipped away paint is. We'll leave the areas that are silver, right? And the only areas that we're going to leave open is where the actual paint is. So that way when we pull it away, it's going to look like there was once paint in that area. If there's going to be a raised difference in it, it'll make sense. It doesn't sound like it makes sense right now, but it will in a hot second. Just trust me. It'll totally make sense. It'll totally make sense. Yeah. Is this piece long enough? I cut it too short. Ah, shoot. I'll do that. That piece is definitely long enough. All right. So we have our area. We know our guidelines for it. Let's move all that kind of out. Then we take our pen. Our pen, which we've been using all day, and should absolutely know where the pen is. The pen for the project. The pen for the armor. The prop pen. The pen for props. The pen. The one, there it is. Duh. Just use our pen. And now I'm going to have to click off the live stream, so I won't be able to see what anyone is saying for a while anyways. That's okay. And I'll need to look and see. So I'm going to want to mark off the areas where the green paint is, cut those out. We're cutting out the areas where the green paint is because we want to put our paint mix on it. So based off this picture, there's green paint, and we're going to just make it look rough. It's kind of in this area. Except we're gonna make that a little rougher than it actually is. But this whole area is basically green paint right there. And then this is the down area, or the area where it kind of swoops. This has a hard turn, has another hard turn right there. Kind of goes like this. It kind of is something like that. Kind of weird. There's kind of a glare, to be honest. There's a glare on the... Can everybody hear me all right? I want to double check. People might just be like, I can't hear you at all, dude. I don't have headphones in, so I can't hear me through the mic, but the mic should still be picking up my voice and whatnot. I assume you should be able to hear me though. And now this here, I don't like how big this looks. I'm gonna take that down a little bit. I'm gonna say this new smooth line is the true line and how it should look. I'm trying to see how close I can bring this to like the work area without it like getting too far in the way. All right, then there's like a top part. It's more or less right in the middle. And it kind of goes in like that. Yeah, it looks kind of rough like that. There we go. Now there's kind of a little bit here on this edge. And then there's a little bit, more or less, basically like that. And those are the spots that have green paint. So we're going to cut those out very carefully, just to cut the tape, not to cut anything else. Trying to make it look a little raggedy. Trying to make sure I'm not cutting into the foam at all.
Cole, you got insider knowledge.
What's up, buddy? I am live right now, just so you know.
Alright. Pizza still deliver?
They should still deliver, yeah.
Oh, I kind of feel like a piss zone.
A pizzone right now.
A piss zone right now.
Yeah.
So, how much is it gonna be for a single pizzone?
Pizzone is like $6.
And like, what's the fee?
Delivery fee is like $3.
Oh, so it's like $9.
So it's gonna be like.
Pizzone pretty filling. I kind of feel like.
I think it's filling.
Okay.
Boom. Basically, that right there is how we're gonna do it, and that bit will get covered green.
You are livey. You said you weren't.
I am live. I told you I was live.
Oh,
As soon as you walked in, dog.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Print areas of photo to scale on transparency. Blah 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 blah. All I'm hearing is extra work. What else? Equipment I don't have. And yeah, that's all I'm hearing. What I do understand though is that this works. I trust my eyeballs more than any piece of modern technology. So yeah, besides that, it looks great. And if I mess up, then you get to say I told you so. So really, it's a win-win for everyone. Okay, Tanya? Edward, yeah, it's going great. It's not a headdress. It's actually a full Eagle union suit thing. It is a little hot, though. I'm not going to lie. I just bought it. It was on sale at Walmart for $7. And, well, actually, keep the hood on. It looks pretty nice. It looks pretty cool. And, well, I can't really turn that down, can I? $7 for this? Yeah, I got this big Twinkie beak thing. It's awesome. I could totally fit a Twinkie in there, or at least a ho-ho. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's great. So yeah. One thing I'm noticing though is this knife is not very sharp at all, and it is kind of hard to just cut through the plastic with it right now. So we're gonna go ahead and we're switch heads because I don't feel like totally sharpening a new blade. We're just gonna switch heads. Is that a little lazy? Maybe. Maybe. But it works. Well, I'm good at explains it. Boom, new knife head. Right there. I don't want to close this just because it's not organized. Alright. Next thing, we're going to go right along this line. Boom. That's pretty crisp. I want to do a little bit of a zigzaggy motion. Boom. Pretty darn well. All right. Now it's time for this top guy. Love it. I love peeling these guys off. Ah, shoot. I love peeling them off when they peel off right. There we go. Cool. Cool. It's working. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. We're getting there. I hope this should have the look I want it to have. This side did not come off as well. That's no good. There we go. That's better. All right, we got our goofy little shapes. We are currently adding a little bit of paint, a little bit of pizzazz to the Iron Man armor. So the Mark I, it's got this beautiful silver base layer going on right now. And now I need to add spots where old paint was. So the parts that you see poking through the blue, these four little silver bits, and actually I'm going to go ahead. This is an artistic choice. I'm going to cut a little guy right there. So that way they are connected instead of four little blotches. So there's going to be a loose connection there. That'll look cool. Basically what I'm doing, there was paint on specifically this piece of the Iron Man armor in all the reference photos that was chipped away. So to give it a chipped away look, I'm going to put the paint down where it was, pull all of this stuff off once it dries up, and that will hopefully give it a nice chipped away, like the whole surface used to be green, but kind of here it's not anymore. Kind of makes a really goofy looking X. I'm kind of digging the design. And so now we get to do the fun part, which is the painting part. We get to mix our paints right here. I'll put that so where most people can see it. And we're going to go ahead and mix them up and see what happens. This is our handy dandy hydration thing, aka water bottle. Put that bad boy over there. Don't really need it. Let's grab a paintbrush. This brush looks fine. It's actually super wet, so we're going to leave that in there. We're going to grab a different paintbrush. What paintbrush looks good for what we're doing? None of these do. This one does. Perfect. Alright, cool. So, I'm trying to get a good consistency. It is a very sandy green, which is why I kind of have a green and then a sandy color. And I'm going to try to go for that kind of consistency. So we start with our base layer color, the color we want it to be the most, which is green. And we're going to do a little bit of that there. We're not going to be able to use all this paint. I'm just adding however much I need to get the right color, more so than the right amount of paint. We'll add 2 drops of this sandy yellow. Golden straw, if you will. Because apparently that's what it is. Now we're going to go ahead and mix it. Normally I have a little mixy deal, or I use the back of the brush. I don't want to use the back of the brush because I don't get my brush all painted up and whatnot. I normally have like a little shard of plastic that I can use. Something to stir this paint together. I'm glad I looked away and didn't sneeze into my paint when I did that. Alright, I'm going to use this old, gross, bristly brush. I think that'll be fun. So we'll just go ahead mix the paint together, I think we need more sandy color. We definitely need more of a sandy color. We need to add the sand. The sand. Boom. Oh yeah, now that is a good look right there. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and try to take as much paint off this old brush as we can. It's kind of weird. Throw that. Our other wet paint brushes. Now we just go to town. Now all we do is cover the blotches, right? Now, it's okay to not totally paint up against the ridges. That's fine, because we want it to look chipped away. And we don't want to put too much paint on our brush at a time. And when we go up toward the ridges, we're also going to kind of lift up our brush like that. So that way it doesn't totally leave a heavy, thick paint line. So we want our paint to look chipped away, but we also want it to look worn. Does that make sense? That's kind of what we're going for. It's kind of the effect we're going for. More towards the back and not so much the edges is where we'll use more of our wet paint. And we're actually going to try to get a pretty clean line against the back here. Because that's where it'll be worn. It will have worn. It will have blah, 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 blah. It'll be worn down the least, right up against the back. The place that has the least amount of surface area. Obviously, all this stuff in the middle has the most surface area, versus a ridge on the back to the thinner part here. There's not going to be as much surface scratching right in that crease. So that crease is where most of the paint is going to be still intact, basically. If that makes sense. I hope some of this makes sense to some people. It doesn't have to totally make sense. All right, add a little bit more paint to the brush here. See what we're doing. That piece is basically done. I think that looks good. I'm gonna make it a little bit heavier in some parts, but boom, that is done. I can't wait. My favorite part is once we get each piece painted up, and yeah, we're gonna make it look a little rough. Oh yeah, that's kind of terrible for the brush doing that, because it'll get paint all the way back in the middle here, and that's gonna make it a huge pain in the butt to clean the brush out. But it gives the effect I like, so I'm gonna say screw it and do it like how I want to do it anyways. Cool. Boom. 2 pieces down. This is very simple. This is not very hard at all. It's just a matter of getting it done. Boom. I like how it's looking right now. Now we just have to do the last piece. I really want to make sure this looks good. Trying to draw the paint out a little bit from where we're at here. All right. Cool. Boom. Put that in the water. Now we're gonna peel our paint off, and that's basically once it's dried. That is going to be the look we're going to want to have. So boom. First piece, you can really tell how bright that silver is. Don't worry, overall, the whole thing, we're going to go over it with a... I'm going to love this. We're going to go over it with a black brush. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's cool. That looks great. Oh, no, it's ripping. Boom. Just like that. And that is our paint chipped look right there. You can see how it kind of looks like the whole thing used to be a greenish color, and now the paint is chipped away. Hopefully that translates well. Hopefully you guys can kind of tell that. There's a little bit here. Take off. A little bit of tape that got caught on there. Boop. There's one. Oh, stuck my finger. That's okay. And then, where is taking off this next one here? I don't want to dig in there with my knife. I just want to lift up a corner. Get the little guy off. Boom. Alright. There we go. Looks a little rough, that's okay. Alright, and that's really all I wanted to show everybody for tonight. We're going to keep this one really short. Boom. That's what I want it to look like. I did the same thing here on the back with this butt plate kind of thing. And then I went over it with a little bit of dark paint. I need to go over it more. But as you see, more of this surface was covered. And so more of it got chipped away versus the front part, which only got that much. So yeah, that is basically it for tonight. Thank you everybody that joined and saw us make stuff. It is always a fun time to be in the prop shop. I'm going to say this like I do every single time. I'm going to try to do this weekly. It's probably not going to be weekly for forever, to be honest with you. But we shall see. We shall see. Maybe we just got to find a new night for it. Maybe that's all it takes. But yeah, thank you for joining us in the prop shop, everybody. Have a good night. And as always, I don't have a sign off for this one, actually. So just have a good one, guys.